Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome on in. Hi, my name is Tony, otherwise known as Magic Bun Bun, who is here to give you a pick a card reading for this new moon in Aquarius. Okay, so the new moon in Aquarius is happening Friday, February 9th. I was looking at my calendar right here. It is happening February 9th, which is a Friday. I will be hosting a magic circle like I do for every new and full moon. Okay, so for this theme for the new moon in Aquarius, we will be working with the King of Swords. We are working with the King of Swords, excuse me. I'm trying to make sure. I have a little bit of a new setup. I'm not sure if you'll be able to notice in the video if it looks any different, but I have a little bit of a setup. As you can see, it still accommodates for sometimes when I wear my bun or my hair in a ponytail, but I can't fix it. I've been trying to fix it this whole morning, so we're just kind of going with it. The lighting isn't exactly perfect either, but we'll see if I can fix it before I get to the actual recording part of providing you your reading. Other than that, for the theme for this new moon in Aquarius, it is like most of the time when we're working with air signs, it is for cleverness, for thoughtfulness, for new ideas, for breakthroughs. Especially with new moons, we want to put intentions, we want in change. We want to also think of this as a refresher with that air sign, to give more hope, because it is a fixed sign, and also Aquarius does relate to the star card as well in the tarot, even though, like I said, we're primarily focused in and on that King of Swords. So communication, talking, standing in your truth, initiating actions behind the voice, asking for things, saying what you want, having that desire for change, for independence, friendships, being able to talk, being able to grow talent, like I said, find inspiration. And also knowledge. This is a mastery of knowledge. This is learning new skills. This is, wanting to get more practice in. This is like that type of energy we're trying to draw in and cultivate for it to grow between the new moon and the full moon. So everything we released with that full moon in Leo, now it has made space so it can cultivate something under this new moon. So keep that in mind. If it's something that you're interested in, and I just can't believe I'm like, I really need this because I need to really work on my communication skills, get rid of that term I keep using for every other word. But if you want to see more information, if you want to see this written down, if you're like, hey, I want to read it more than hear about it, go to the description box. All the details will be provided in there, because it does include a candle ritual. It includes a YouTube live where you can come in and see the tarot card reading done live if you would like to. You don't have to be there for the live. You can watch the video back whenever you feel like you have the time to do so. There's that on again. But anyways, so yeah, if you want a few more details, down below on my Ko-fi, it'll take you to a Ko-fi shop page. It will be live by the time this video goes live, if everything works out perfectly. And yeah, that's about it. So let's get to the pick a card, so you can get the pick a card for this new moon in Aquarius. So I am putting images up somewhere on the screen. Typically I put them, I think I'll make the space, I'll put them over here. So if you don't know how this works, you're going to see 3 images show up here, and it's for pile 1, 2, or 3. If you already know and you don't want to see the images, to just go down below, and you can just go and click on the numbers, the blue numbers. It will fast forward to your reading, okay? If at any point before these numbers come up or the images come up, you need to pause, you need to take a few deep breaths, go ahead and do so. Do remember, though, these are general readings, so if you would like to have a more personalized reading, you can always book a reading with me and my Ko-fi, okay? So right now, let me look. I want to make sure I get the images right, because I am using I have some emojis that are going to be very similar to this, but the pictures I'm using here are not going to be emojis. They're like these really cute ones that I think are pretty funny. Okay, so they should be up right now. Pile number 1, you're getting a star. It is a star. You'll see just probably a plain star down below, but this star right here is going to have sunglasses on it. Kind of that uniqueness that we see with Aquarius, that cool vibe. And then for pile number 2, you're getting this cloud. I don't know, this cloud made me laugh when I found it. It made me giggle. we're using it. So stars and the clouds, which kind of represented to me like the clouds in the King of Swords. And then for third, because they say Aquarius are like the aliens of the zodiac in the most positive, loving way, we have an alien right here, which is sparkles. It has actually more stars in its eyes and everything, so I figured let's go with that. So you should see it here for pile number 1 is a star, pile number 2 is a cloud, and pile number 3 is an alien. Alright, so you know what to do from here. Go down below, fast forward to reading unless you picked pile number 1, and I will be with you in just a moment. Hello there, pile number 1, or for those of you who picked the star with the cool sunglasses. Okay, let me get my mouse out of the way here. I know it's kind of weird. There's this huge gap right up here. You see even the top of the mic. We're working on it. This is what it's going to be like just at least for today or for this video, until I can get some help to make sure I do not break this new camera. So again, I'm not even sure if you can tell that it is a new camera, if the quality looks any different, but we're giving it a try. We're seeing if we like it, okay? So I'm gonna start shuffling. Yes, I am using what I like to call Big Daddy because there's a lot of duplicates in this deck, and sometimes it can be really fun. So, and sometimes some people get 1 or 2 tower cards in one reading, but that's okay. We like the tower. The tower may not be the most pleasant card to have, but it can be very, you know, enlightening as well. So, because there's lightning in it. Get it? Got it? Just kidding. Alright, hold me lower the music a little bit. Let's vibe for a bit, okay? Let's call in your divine spiritual team. Make sure the video was recording because that would have been embarrassing and a little heartbreaking if I didn't say so myself. Alright, pile number 1. What is it that you need to know for this new moon in Aquarius? Okay. Let's see what wants out of the deck as we flip. Okay, we just had a few come out here. We're gonna have to put this in here. So first up, we have the 3 of Wands. Yeah, okay, it is. So you have the 3 of Wands. Oh, could you even see that? It's a little bright. It's a little bright, but I feel like I tried fixing it from the intro that it'd still be better off this way. The 3 of Wands, and then as your challenge is still the 3 of Wands, which kind of tells me stuck in which direction to go into. You may be feeling like a lot of paths right now and not sure where you want to seek your advancement, like where you want to have your intention set. Like, you know, you've had some foundations, you're growing. Like, this is a 3, so it's like the beginning stages of something before we can move to the next step. Where do we want to set our intentions? Where do we want to see growth? Where do we want to expand upon, right? And then we have the Ace. Let me turn this down like 1 little notch. Let's see if that helps. At least you can see the cards. You can see the cards a little bit better. So then we have the Ace of Cups in reverse, Judgment, and the Tower. Don't worry, out of all the towers in this deck too, this is a very calm one. This is not very fiery. It's underwater. It's with mermaids. It's like when a mermaid's falling off of a tower under the water, are they really gonna crash down? No, they're not, because they're underwater, okay? They're in their element. It's just feeling like things need to be changed, and this also gives me a feeling, well, it sits underneath the 3 of Wands right here. It's like that, oh, was a subconscious thought, like, oh, like you're not realizing you've been having this thought for a while and it keeps resurfacing to you, and you're like, this is what I need to do. It's that subtle aha moment, not as jarring as we would see with the other towers in this deck. Okay, so you could be feeling, also there's like, with the water being present into here, it's like dehydrated, so make sure you check in on your water intake. I'm not going to tell you how much water to drink. You know of your thirst and whatnot. Just keep that in mind. This also could be feeling very drained, very like, maybe feeling like, especially because we're in the beginning of the year, looking back on like how much did you accomplish or how much you didn't accomplish, and you feel like you should have seen more progress, and it's like, chill, we're just in the beginning. You also don't have to be in a construct of it has to happen within this certain time frame, you know, within this year to be so accomplished. Like, your journey is going to be different from everybody else's, so don't judge yourself so harshly, okay? So don't judge yourself. This could also be, because it did come out in reverse, could also feel like a disconnect between you and your spiritual team. Like, you're not reading the signs, you're not hearing the lyrics and the music when it's like, what a sign is this? And like, you're playing a song, which also then inclines like, if you ever want to look for a sign for you, particularly for pile number 1, get a playlist. I mean, it could be from the same album, but it has to have multiple songs on there, right? And hit the shuffle button 3 times, because we have the 2 3s just sitting right up on there. Hit it 3 times. If at maximum 6 times, but 3 times, and listen to what that song has to say to you. See if that helps, see if that inspires you, okay? But this also just feeling, because we see music as, if you can see music, there's music notes coming out from like the trumpet. It's like listening for the signs. This is also getting that feeling of wanting a huge transformation, like you want that huge aha moment, and this is why we see the tower in here. It's like, it's gonna be more subtle than that, but it's gonna be changing for you. Okay, we need to get more cards in here. Okay. Make sure I pull these down here. This was 1, 2, and 3. And then you get 2 extra cards. We'll put those to the side. And our crowning card. Let me show you what these are first. So the next card that came in right next to that tower card was the 9 of Pentacles. Needing to feel like you're being able to do this in solitude. Like, you don't want to depend upon anybody else. Wanting to be very much your own person, satisfied with your finances, although emotionally, and it could be very draining to you. It could be very because you're trying to do it all, that can kind of give me that vibes of burnout a little bit. And then we have the Knight of Cups. We have some more water energy coming in here. So we've got some fire, some water, and some earth. Okay, some earth, some more fire. I'm looking at the other cards too. So we have the Knight of Cups bringing us this Pisces energy. And then we actually have the star. We have the star sitting underneath this tower. And the star, as we talked about in the intro, is Aquarius. It's also attached to Aquarius. It's not just the King of Swords. It's actually very attached to the star card being the Aquarius energy. So wanting to look for hope, feeling very hopeless, feeling very lost in the dark, feeling very like you're not getting guidance. You're feeling very much like, I want to be told what to do next, versus listening to your intuition and knowing what to do, and like going with the flow, going with the vibe. So we end up in this card, the 10 of Wands. Now it's a 10, so it means conclusion, things coming to an end, needing to release a lot. And do you see like how with the 9 of Pentacles, this person is like so happy, like they are self-sufficient, they are happy with the abundance around them, they're not trying to seek more, they're not trying to add more to their plate, because they realize that's a big struggle, like that it's a huge struggle that's adding so much that they're not ready for right now. And then we actually have the 9 of Wands and the 4 of Swords. So we have our sword coming in here, and then our crowning card, I'm not going to hold up the whole deck, I'm just going to hold up a few cards, is the Death. This is the Death card. So we got some Scorpio energy coming into here, which is transformation. But that is also letting go. It is surrendering, right? It's surrendering to the path. It's surrendering to rest. And also like, this is like, we don't need to rush to completion. Like, you're just starting on your journey. We started with the 3 of Wands, and then we're ending with the 10 of Wands. Like, do you see how taking on so much has burnt you out? Do you see how much more, like when you're trying to put your intentions, it's better to focus it in on key priorities in your life versus trying to prioritize so many different aspects of your life. You get stretched too thin, okay? Then you start to lose the guidance. You start to lose your way on your journey that you've just started. So we don't want to rush this cycle. We want to ease into it. We want to see the romance of it. And this could be so, like, again, signs are being sent to you, like, this is sitting underneath that Judgment card is the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups deals with day-to-day activities. He doesn't look at the bigger picture. He wants to make sure his life is romanticized from the very beginning, which is just taking care of yourself, which is making sure you do some self-care, which is also taking care and being able to charge into battles. But after, you see how they're not like, they're in a slow motion. They're like, I'm going to look at all the options. I'm going to make sure I take my time. And sometimes I don't know why I do things. I'm just listening off of my intuition before I make that next move. This is also a sign of a muse being sent to you. Now, we talked about music earlier. You're going to be inspired by creativity. You're going to be inspired by artwork, by particularly probably by music, if I don't say so. And this could also be for some of you needing some healing with some crystal healing, like, oh God, what is it called? Sound healing baths. Like, I'm thinking of the big crystal bowls. Needed to spend some time to do that, to clear your mind and ease your stress a bit, to have that moment for yourself. Crystal bowls is like, you know, you can go on YouTube here. You can just do sound healing baths, and it will pull up a whole bunch for you. And just find one that you really vibe with. You can even do ones that are like really, really short and sweet. You're like, I don't have time for that. There's some that are like probably 5 minutes, maybe even less than that. So you've got time. You've got time, even if it means you're getting up 5 minutes earlier, or you're going to bed 5 minutes later. You can dedicate that time to yourself. You're not going to put yourself on the back burner anymore. Like, you've got things to work on, and you're only going to reach those accomplishments once you once you take care of yourself, okay? You can't expect it to reach this form of abundance if this is what's going on here. So seeking this guidance can feel more of like feeling more hopeful with also playing some music. If you feel yourself, and this isn't to say like music's going to cure all or anything like that, but it can help with some of your attitude. Sometimes it can be very uplifting, different than just trying to do an affirmation every day. You're just like, I can't keep on track with that affirmation. Put that a little brighter. I can't keep on track with that affirmation. So I'm going to just listen to a song that I really enjoy. And it could be for fun. It just uplifts your spirits, okay? So this is just remembering to surrender. That Death card, some things just need to come to an end. And once you've realized that, that's why this is going to be so soft and so subtle. This Tower card is so soft, so subtle, which is like, why would, when we think of the Tower card, it's usually lightning and fire, and because it's that Mars energy. And this Tower card is related to Mars, which actually in traditional astrology rules over Scorpio energy. So this is deep waters. This is deep emotions, okay? This is making sure my cards don't fall over there. This is deep emotions. This is deep within the self, right? This is also finding guidance within the self. This Aquarius, you're going to see things differently. You're going to see how to do something differently that's going to enlighten you, that's going to inspire you differently. And as long as you keep that in mind, and make sure you do get some rest, as you take things very, one step at a time, this completion is going to look a lot better for you. It's going to feel a lot better for you because we're not rushing to get it done. We're not going to also skip over steps, okay? All right, let's push these cards over. And I know, I don't know if any of you saw my other video for, I think it was for my review on the Witching Hour Oracle. I talked about getting a face down camera. Well, she's here, but she's not very good at her job. So we're still in the process of fixing it because I realized you don't see what I'm moving on my desk. I'm used to, because I used to do that actually with that camera. No one knows what happens. It's not working. So she's just chilling over there. Maybe in the next video we'll have that. So right now we're dealing with this situation, and we'll get to that at some other point. It's always within me. We got the Death card. We got Surrender coming in here. We're going to bring the Surrender cards in. Now, I love using this deck for full moons, particularly. Hold on. I feel like I'm so... But because we have so many things of, like, letting it go, we're going to bring out the Surrender deck anyways. Let's find out what you need to surrender. 2. We get a third one. We got a third one. This was 1. This was 2. And that was 3. Okay. So the first card we have popping out of here. Now I know. I mean, we'll just have to deal with it. We'll dim it a little bit here. Let me... This is some live editing you're watching right now. Oh, wrong way. Maybe that will help. Not too much. Okay, live editing. Probably going to see that edited out. Just... Okay. So the first card we have here is Surrender to Spirit. Surrender to Spirit says, once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let Spirit work its magic for you. Okay, so some of you really just need to let go and like give to Spirit. And this is why we see that Death card coming into here. This is that energy of like surrendering to Spirit, not letting your ego get in the way, trying again not to force things, to go with the flow as well. When you let things crumble because the foundation was not right for you, okay? That's that Tower card coming in. The foundation wasn't right. We're gonna rebuild so then you can have a better focus of where to put your intent into. And then we have surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in that mundane aspect of life. Remember that you are a magical being with uniqueness and worth that comes from just being you. Okay, so then we have this one. This is surrendering to that magic. And then this is why I'm also seeing with a lot with like Earth energy. This is the only card that represents Earth energy. Yeah, triple checking. Which is that 9 of Pentacles. This is like finding abundance and magic and like love and prosperity around you already. This is someone, like I said, is self-satisfaction, but this is growth here. It's looking back at all your accomplishments. I just almost lost a card under my monitor. That was new. Okay, and this is also a picture of someone in a field. So we're seeing like that earth energy around. So it's like it'll take some time to ground your energy with this airiness of Aquarius coming into here. And when you kind of like give things to Spirit, you might need to spend some time in nature as well. This could help calm you, de-stress you, feeling like you're ready to grow something that is better for you once we let go. It's like also like I get that vibes of like getting like, what's the word I want to say? I want to say like, I want to say pruning, but I don't think that's the right word, but just like getting rid of the weeds. I wanted to say like pruning the weeds, but I don't think that's the right word, but getting rid of the weeds and, you know, seeing what's left to work with once you've cleared it out. And then we have surrender unhealthy relationships. I'm trying to like read it off my camera here. That's why I was like squinting for just a second, but surrendering unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unreliable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. There's some people out there that feel like their opinion is the only one that you should be listening to. And this is another aspect of what it is, that of who it is as well in the situation, of who you need to let go of. This person could potentially have a lot of Aquarius aspects in them, a lot of Aquarius signs and traits into them. And Aquarius, and I say this with love, as a Leo sun, my sun is in Leo. We're part of the fixed sign group, okay? So fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. The fixed sign groups are very known for being very stubborn. Saying that with love and understanding, is very stubborn. Sometimes it can be very good. That means you're not a pushover. That means when you've made up your mind, you stick to it. You're very stable. You're very stern. You're very like, you're the rock, you know, like people can count on you for something. But if this is a person you're dealing with who may not realize like, hey, you have to sometimes be flexible, it's better to cut them out and realize that you just need to, you know, go off your own magic. Be like, you don't need them for this. Okay, let me... Now, this is the Rebel deck. this is a deck that has been known to be very, sometimes cutthroat. Sometimes it's just a sassy deck. It's just sassy. Let's bring this in. This has been a favorite on my Twitch lately. Let's see how we get roasted, okay? Pile number 1. And do not worry, I'll bring another deck out after this one to kind of like soften that blow. Depending, sometimes it's actually not that bad. Okay, we got our first one. 2 and 3. Okay, we got our 3 there. Put you there for now. So the first card we have is Get the Fuck Out of Your Head. Get in your heart, it misses you. That is definitely related to that Knight of Cups energy here. Get the fuck out of your head. Get in your heart, it misses you. So leading with your heart. Remember we talked about earlier about like sometimes it's not about what it is that's like knowledge based, but it is about what your gut or your intuition is telling you to do. It's telling you to get more in touch with that. Okay, and then we have this one, which is what the hell are you waiting for? Get that shit done. And it goes, if you're waiting for a sign, well, here it fucking is. This is connected to, give me this Judgment card. Remember we talked about needing a sign, that you're not listening to the signs? Well, here is your sign. Get that shit done, okay? And then you have this one, get the fuck outside, move your ass. Your body is pissed at you. Okay, so this is more about, we're talking about like attaching to nature, walking in nature. Maybe you need to just watch some nature videos, something like that. If you can get outside, I know it's kind of cold, at least where I'm at, it's kind of cold, so it might be very hard to do so. But it could be at least just go outside and get some fresh air. Open a window if you have to, just like for a few, just like for a minute or so or less, whatever, you know, take what you have to do for this one. Your body is pissed at you. You know what? This could also be related to that pentacle side here, but I'll leave the body talk between you and a professional, not between us and cards, okay? And spirit, like, that's what I said, sometimes very sassy. Okay, we're gonna do the witching hour, the one I just reviewed on my YouTube here. Oh, the shuffle in here is so nice. Okay. This one I may need to look up. That one's pretty obvious. And this one, raising vibrations. Okay, so the first one we have here is cast the circle, and it says raising vibrations. Now, we're seeing a ginormous pentacle in this imagery here. Now, depending on how you view vibrations, some people, like myself, don't really view as like higher vibrations necessarily make it better than like lower vibrations. And I'll explain in a different setting or time if anyone's interested in that and how I view that. But with this is more of like casting a circle, casting the power, and cultivating and drawing in the energy that you want to obtain, the one that you want to surround yourself with. This is also about, I was thinking this one right here, the positive people. Now, we don't want people who are just going to ignore everything that is bad. You know, that it's like, hey, sometimes what you do is self-sabo. You know, you need to acknowledge that, you know, or just think positively. Like, I don't know why you're so negative. Like, that's not the right group either. Like, you don't want to be dealing with that. You need people who are going to acknowledge that sometimes it's your own actions and you're seeing the consequences of those actions, right? So when we're seeing casting the circle, if you don't actually want to draw and cast a circle and do magic, remember, you can find magic in the mundane aspect of things. This is how you set up your space, how you set up for success, how you do surround yourself with people who are not always constantly tearing you down. You don't need, spirit will take care of the tearing down for you. You don't need people coming in and doing it to you, okay? Because right next to it is we have cloak and dagger, which is deception. So feeling like someone is being very deceptive to you, feeling like someone is how it shows here, like about to stab you in the back, you know, like this might be something that you want to do on your own versus drawing in people, because you have to let go of those unhealthy relationships, which is why we're seeing like cloak and dagger, because someone's going to betray you. Okay. And then this one is the initiation, a sacred test, which kind of includes too that judgment card again, because it's like a spiritual awakening. But I'm still going to look this one up for sure real quick to see. Actually, I also want to see if no, okay, that's not. The initiation is actually vibing with the 9 of Wands. This deck has tarot companions, so if you're like trying to, you know, relate it to, these two cards would be, you know, together. And it actually pairs with Cast the Circle. It also has comparisons. Like, the guidebook is so nice. It also, like, pairs with this one, which is follow the rules. Now is not the time to take liberties or challenge the status quo. Following the established order can help you get ahead faster. This says the more positive side of this card is that initiation means the end of one journey and the beginning of a new one. Many of your current obstacles are coming to an end, therefore this is also a card of hope and good things to come. Yeah, it says the universe is challenging you to see how well you handle your circumstances. Like finals in school or an entrance exam, you must prove you are ready to embrace the bigger challenges that come with bigger goals. Your situation requires you to be calm, confident, logical, strategic, and stand your ground in the face of adversity. Okay, not bad, not bad. I really love this deck so much. I think that was really, I like the way, like, how they write and how you can see, like, how these two cards work together. Okay, some of you might be starting Magic for the first time. That kind of gives you the vibe there, too. And you're going to be starting with some mundane type tasks, so cool. Let me... Hold on. You know what we're doing. We're ending this reading with a Therapet, but I have to grab them. This is a message you need to hear for this new moon in Aquarius. One more time. Yep, let's split the deck. It's so cute. Okay. With every challenge you meet, you gain experience. Every day, you're leveling up. Oop, didn't mean to hit that. It's so funny that it says that, because as I was reading from the witching hour, the initiation, like, it was talking about challenges. It's talking about the universe is ready to test you, hence that Mars card being present in there. And then I was just thinking, I was like, it's like you're leveling up. You're leveling up for this new moon. You may be asking for more, wanting bigger goals. You may have been thinking too small, and that's why we have the Knight there as like your day-to-day tasks and everything like that, because we're not dealing with the King part. The King of Swords is thinking of the bigger picture. So if you could dream bigger, if you can think and look beyond the beyond, like beyond that coastline, like what lies out there, maybe things you never even considered before, what would that entail? What would you wish for? What would you dream for? Okay. All right, that is all I have for you today, pile number 1. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much. If you're interested in joining for the Magic Circle, it is $11.11 to work with that King of Swords and New Moon Aquarius energy. I would love to have you there, but if you are not going to be there, that's absolutely fine. I hope you have a wonderful new moon experience. Make sure to get some rest, because new moons and full moons tend to make people very sleepy, you know, get in very vivid dreams. Okay, so I will see you when I see you. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like this reading, subscribe to the channel, you know, all that good stuff. If I could stop hitting this with my long ass nails, that'd be great. Otherwise, I will see you when I see you. Bye. Hello there, pile number 2, or for those of you who chose the cloud. Alright, put my mouse over here. I'm trying to figure out my lighting situation because I do have some lights. Gotta make sure you're able to see the cards. You see it gets kind of washed out there, but if I don't, so we'll have to go with it. We'll have to vibe with it, okay? So you might see some live editing during this, but I feel like I really need to fix it. I got my settings and everything open. Alright, just want to put that little heads up out there before we get into your reading. Okay. I'm going to start shuffling anyway. Well, I've already started shuffling. I'm using, if I haven't said it already, I'm using Big Daddy for this one. I like the chaos that it brings. I like, you know, all the extra goodies in this deck. Let's see. Let's call to your spirit guides, your divine spiritual team, and find out what it is that you need to know for this new moon in Aquarius. I know this is either, have you never seen this deck before? This deck has duplicates in it. That's why it's kind of chaotic, and that's why it's so thick, because you could just switch out if you like this version more than the others. But I find that sometimes when I do that, because I had some that happened beforehand, but it would be for like 1 or 2, so yeah, I would just swipe out just to pick the one that I like the most. But if I liked both of them, or I liked multiples, I would never use it. I'd forget to swipe them out and see the other ones. So with this, I've decided just to put them all in there. It's the one deck that I have that does this. I think I've got one other one that has similar qualities, but it's like one extra Emperor deck, or card, I mean. So I like the chaos that this one brings. Alright, let's find out what wants to jump out of here and find out what it is that you need to know for this new moon in Aquarius. Okay, so first up we have Page of Cups. Yeah, it's a little washed out. It's hard to see, but we'll try dimming that a little bit. Let's see how that looks. A little bit better. So we got the Page of Cups coming out of here, followed by the 2 of Cups right here, and then we have the 9 of Wands in reverse. So some challenging times. This could be in reference to psychic abilities, connection with your higher self, or this could be for some of you out there, because some people are more inclined and in tuned with themselves, with their higher selves, or working on psychic abilities, which would be indicated by the Page of Cups, the Keeper of Water, and the 2 of Cups. But also we're seeing in this is partnership. Someone within the partnership, you and another person, someone's acting childish, which is like turning into like defense system is up. It's like reacting out of anger versus like being rational about things. Someone is being chaotic, someone is being a brat. feeling like you have to have your defenses up no matter now who's talking to you, type of situations. So we're probably we're talking about, like, when we're talking about new moon energy, we're talking about things we want to kind of initiate, things we want to grow, things we want to see grow, where we want to start things, initiate them. And for this one, this could be better partnership, wanting to have better communication, better to have like a heart-to-heart. Also, this could also be a reflection for some of you, that inner child work you need to do. This is connecting with your inner child, this Page of Cups, wanting you to listen to your intuition, wanting you to think with your emotions and how you want to act, and like put things as a pause, taking some non-action, you know, being able to reflect on things. Where we're seeing like this 2 of Cups. So it also says make love, not war. This could be like a war within yourself that you're having. So wanting to be more about dealing with like your inner child stuff, like what makes life joyful for you, what have you not taken time to do that maybe you want to initiate for this new moon in Aquarius, which also Aquarius is thinking, it is higher learning, it is gaining knowledge, it's gaining skills, it's wanting to elevate yourself to the next level, but keeping things maybe off of something you've already built upon, because it is a fixed sign. Fixed signs bring stability. Fixed signs are, you know, it's your rock, it's your things that bring, you know, bring order to the chaos, right? Then we have the moon popping up, not too like unusual for a new moon reading, but this brings us in Pisces energy, which again, like the Page of Cups is the keeper of water, which is Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio energy. So this might be more in tuned, I would say, right off the bat, Pisces energy, which is like deep reflections, it is creativity, it is that dreamlike state, it is just like a world of fantasy. But right next to it is a challenge, is the High Priestess. The High Priestess in reverse, which is connected, is ruled actually by the moon, which then rules over Cancer. Okay, so we're seeing all this water elements coming into here, which cannot be super appealing to that of air signs, in the sense of like when we're like dealing with this Aquarius energy, deep emotions. However, Aquarius is the water bearer, so there is some elements of water within the Aquarius sign in that reflection, in that standpoint. So in reverse, this is telling me it's a little bit of like inner knowing and then having self-doubt about it. So a lot of you are going to be wanting to work on trusting your gut, trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition when your intuition is telling you like, hey, something is off. Oh my gosh, okay. So we have the Hanged Man, which is associated with Neptune energy, and actually in modern astrology rules over Pisces. So we have that. Then we have the Devil card in reverse, which we like to see that one in reverse. That is Capricorn energy. And then we have the Lovers card, which is Gemini energy. So, so far the next 5 cards so far have been major arcana, so major happenings. And why I was like, oh, because hold on, let me finish shuffling these last parts. Okay, we got our last card. Anybody else? Okay, let me put this. We can get our crowning card. I know you heard me talking about the other day. We get a bonus card, a face down camera. Well, she's here, she's just not her best, and right now we're dealing with this lighting, so I figured let's pick one thing to try to work on, which right now for some reason I look very warm tone, even though these are all bright lights. I got an extra light over here, as you can see. It's just why you're seeing the shadow constantly there. We'll figure it out so that the next video will be better. I'm not even sure if you can notice a difference between the quality of the last couple videos and this one, but we'll see. So, okay, so I was saying with the Devil card, let me hold it up right. You can see the similarities in how they're structured, right? Or how the people in the cards, or the demons in the other card, you know? So we're seeing like this connection. However, the Gemini card, the Lovers card, is in a challenging position. So for some of you, this does swing back into love, and it's like having to trust your inner self, that it isn't like the devil on your shoulders just giving you self-doubt and insecurities. It's you know this to be true. This gives me kind of vibes of like if someone's being deceitful, if someone is not telling you the truth, if someone is lying, someone is cheating, and you've always suspected it, then go with it. Like, you know it to be true. We have then the bonus, well, we have this card here, which is the Four of Cups in reverse, and we actually have the Star card. We have the Star card, which the Star is another card associated with Aquarius energy, and this is the new moon in Aquarius reading. And then we have, I'm not going to grab all of them, I'm just going to grab some of the deck. We have the Six of Pentacles, and if I'm not mistaken, Pentacles, besides that Capricorn energy brought to us by the Devil card, is the only earth sign in here. It is the only form of grounding. And when we're seeing this is in a stage kind of like of someone being able to give, but this is where we might be seeing the deceit though. Someone is taking that authority, taking their power. So this may not be, even though we have that Love card being here, we've got the Two of Cups in here, this may not just be for some of you like romance, dealing with someone who you are seeing, someone you're initiating decisions with, you're talking about decisions, that someone is not being truthful to it. This could be also people that you work with. This could be someone that you thought you trusted, that you're like, I'm getting kind of bad vibes from this person. I don't think they're actually being completely truthful. It's like, go with that. You need to like trust that inner self. they could be hiding money, they could be giving it to somebody else, they're not being fair with their money, they're not, spending it as they should be, they could be hoarding onto it. This can also be a reflection of yourself as well, to also keep in mind, like, how are you spending your money? Are you being, like, balancing it out? Excuse me. Are you balancing it out? Okay, because we have the Hanged Man there, someone who's willing to sacrifice to get what it is that they want. This is a form of enlightenment, but you have to be able to surrender and sacrifice for something. Okay, this is giving up someone. This is similar to the story of Odin, like how he loses an eye to gain wisdom and insights. This is like a representation of that. And so the Hangman brings us, and like it brings us that energy, that Neptune energy of also maybe we're getting downloads in your dreams. So take special note of your dreams as well. So the Lover's card, let's touch back to the Lover's card, and the Lover's card is about making choices, making decisions, and the other 6 card is the 6 of Pentacles. So it's like having to make choices on the money and how you're spending them, who you're spending it on yourself, spending it on others, spending it on family, on loved ones. Like, are you spending it too much? This is tough love. It is in a challenging position to have this discipline within yourself, because it starts off like with the 2 of Cups. It's like because you're going on dates, you're taking care of yourself, you're like, oh, I want this, I want that, but small things start building up to bigger bills, to bigger spending habits, so being careful with how you're spending your money in this. With the 4 of Cups being present next to that Star card, it could be feeling like very overwhelmed, not sure what you should be adding onto your plate and what you should be taking off of your plate, needing to find guidance. You can also find guidance within astrology. So if you were looking to the stars for guidance, this would be the sign to do so. Okay, but this could also be for some of you feeling very alone in making those choices and decisions. So that's why you keep going back to that person that you want to have this conversation with. But we need to let those people go. We need to let that situation go and find a better team that is suited for you, finding that, because we don't want that devil card. We don't want that person using their authority and power to hold you back down. It is cutting those habits. It's cutting those strings. It's even if it's yourself as a self-saboteur, like when you and your inner child are not seeing eye to eye, your inner child wants you to spend that money, and it's your adult money. You're like, yes, I want you, but I shouldn't. It's like have that compromise with yourself. You're saving up for this, but you're making sure your bills are being paid. You're making sure your responsibilities are being taken care of. It is that balancing act that we see with the High Priestess and the 2 of Cups. They represent that balancing. And so then Spirit will say, hey, there'll be something new, something to kind of revitalize you. We're handing you this cup. This cup can help fulfill your dreams and your emotions and stuff, but you have to ask yourself if it's better for you to swap something out versus adding to your plate. And since we have 2 of Cups, 3, something that's in the realm of 3s would be a pleasant thing for you, just having 3 things to take care of versus adding a 4th to it, because we do see the 3s in the people being here. So we have a lot of 2s moving to 3s, and and in here. So, and it could seem like that's so little, though. Like, you want to take on more, you want to be able to do more, you want to be able to expand more, but you got to take this expansion slowly. Okay, you've got to take it slowly, and this is where you want to have that growth you want to see from like the new moon to the full moon. Okay, new ideas with that Aquarius energy, new forms of enlightenment. This could be very spiritual enlightenment, because the High Priestess also has that representation of you're doing these things for you. You're learning the psychic power, your witchcraft. You're learning it for you. You're not doing it for another person. You're not doing it to benefit another person. You're doing it for your own benefit, because you need that spiritual release. You need that outlet. You need that dedication to yourself. And that could be something that doesn't cost a lot of money, or if any money at all. It is spending that time with yourself. It is spending that time with Spirit. It is spending that time with your higher self, with your divine spiritual team. We're also, because we're seeing so many cups out here, remember to put a cup out as an offering with water in it. Just as something as simple as water. Go to, if you don't have an altar, create an altar. Create a sacred space. As you can see right over here, my makeup desk is here. Now, I do have an altar here, but I have a place where I go and get ready. If I wanted to, I could leave an offering on a place that is dedicated to beauty, is dedicated to my time, is dedicated to that. Like, you can leave an offering out for those type of spaces, you know, an offering next to your bed for sweet dreams and whatnot, keeping that in mind. All right, so don't feel like you have to go all out. Simply leaving a cup of water to acknowledge your divine spiritual team can be very beneficial for you. All right, let me push these cards to the side. We don't have any swords. So we don't have any swords, which, I mean, do we have any? We only have Gemini as like a oh no, we have Aquarius, duh. Gemini and Aquarius. So we don't have any Libra in here, which is fine. And I say that with love as a Libra rising. We do have a little bit of representation of Libra. We've got the scales being present right there. I'm just looking to see if, like, since we're missing swords, like, what would that indicate? And it's just like, things haven't built up in your mind enough to take priority. You know, we're focusing more on what your actions are, and there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes since we have a lot of major arcana in this reading. That means, like, a lot of things are happening behind the scenes that you will only be able to react to. It's not a lot of things you have control under, okay? Talking about control, we're going to bring out a crowd favorite, the Surrender deck. Now, normally I only like to really use these for the full moon, but I find that this is really good to use for the new moon to find out, because you're going to see this video. You might be watching this video the night of, and that's absolutely fine too, but I do put this out earlier than that, so hopefully you can, like, prepare for the new moon, making sure you've kind of surrendered to these aspects, and then you can cultivate and initiate stuff on the night of the new moon. Okay. What do you need to surrender? Okay, so you have to get one more out of here, but the first one that came out of here is surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough, according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. Just talking about that, like, you're like, you know what, you want to take on 4, 5, 6, and it's like, that's not going to be in your benefit. You need to do things much at a slower pace. Okay, and major arcanas, like I said, a lot of things are working behind the scenes for you right now, so things can be, you can see it going from, like, the new moon and on, things that are going to be working in your benefit. You just have to make sure you're ready and open to see the signs of those, of what's working for you, okay? And then we have surrender to inner peace, which is cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. So this is literally the first sentence here is something that you may want to initiate and cultivate from the new moon to the full moon, is inner peace. In quiet meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. We're talking about that. Like I said, for some of you, this isn't romance based. This isn't between you and another person. This is between you and yourself. That 2 of Cups energy in there. This is also that tough love that you may have to do. You need to slow down and have those moments with yourself. Having those like 5 minutes, you know, try your best and then make it longer if you can. And then, okay. And then we have surrender to your full power, which it says, your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. So it's like, after you take this pause and you see everything, you see your day-to-day tasks, you see things that you've been working on, you've seen things that you've let go, you've surrendered, you've made time for divine time, you made time for your inner peace. It's like then you'll be able to step into your full power. Some of you may just wanting to start cultivating that full power, drawing it to you and seeing it grow, okay? Put you right over here. We're going to use the Rebel deck, okay? So this has been a favorite when I'm streaming on Twitch. Everyone likes to get roasted, so I figured, you know what? Let's bring it back in for a pick a card video. Let's find out how we're going to get roasted for this. Yeah. we'll see. Sometimes it's very direct. Sometimes it's not. It's just sassy. It's just overall sassy deck. Okay. All right, let's find out. Okay, let's hold on. 1, 2. Okay, put you over here. So this first one says detox, and it says drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some shit out. Okay, so this is a little bit of that tough love, is like, you know, you need to throw some shit out, you need to declutter in order to see the guidance, right? And with that, you know, it's also as well as unfriend that asshole. We were just talking about that with someone might be using their authority and power. It's time to unfriend them and get rid of them, right? And then we have ask a fucking expert, and it says don't rely on your friends or the internet. Listen to a damn professional. So as simple as this: if it's not easy for you to let things go, not easy for you to surrender, not easy for you to balance out your checkbook or figure out like your budget and stuff, seek professional help. There is no harm in that, and do it to the best of your abilities. I know sometimes that is money attached to it. There's no free sources, so do find out what it is that you can save up for to get that help, and like consider it a very good investment. Don't try to talk yourself out of it and be like it's not worth it. If it's like it can help change your life, it may be worth it then for you. Okay. And then we have you equal tight ass. Loosen the fuck up. Control freaks don't get laid. Okay, we're not really concerned about the getting laid part, but it is loosen up, and this is that inner child work. Like, you know, having that compromise with your inner child. When you want something, you know, don't automatically tell yourself no. Just see like how you can get to it, how long it will take you to get to it, and if it's something that, you know what, it's just not possible now, but let me compromise and do something on a smaller scale, okay? Just don't tell yourself no right off the bat, and don't you tell yourself, for some of you, yes right off the bat. Be like, no, you're asking for something too much, even to yourself. You need to be able to, you know, tone it down a bit for some of these things. Or you say yes too much, now your bank account is empty. Is it you that's like not considering yourself powerful? You're not considering yourself an authority figure in your own life, that you're just putting things to the whim, you know? And it's like you have to have some control. You have to have, co-creation with the universe, I believe it's called. Okay. Hold on, get it here. All right, so after that, it's a little bit of a roast. We're going to use the witching hour. We are going to end it with a therapet, so it kind of brings us a nice message after the rebel deck. But I wanted to use this one. I'm trying to get used to this deck. I did recently post a review on it, and I do really love it. I still need the guidebook for it though, so we'll see. We'll see what cards come out. I can't. Only one card came out. Oh, there's 2. 3? Ooh. Ooh, okay. This tells me a nice story. So the first one we have is the initiation, and is a sacred test. So the universe wanting to test you, the universe wanting to advance you to the next level. But you need to be able to, like, it's going to test how well, like, you can wait, having your patience and whatnot. Like, can you really surrender to divine timing? Or are you going to force a situation and it's not going to turn out the way you want it? That type of test, okay? However, we have the sacred vows, and it says commitment. So it's like commitment to this challenge, commitment to this initiation, which then gives us the flames transformation. Okay, so we're seeing like a story unfold there, and it's very interesting because it sits underneath here of surrender to divine timing, which, like I said, could be your initiation, could be your test. Can you allow things to settle and wait? And then surrender to inner peace. These are the vows you take to yourself. This is a daily practice. You're bringing in that inner peace. You've got commitment to cultivating inner peace. And then the transformation of surrendering to your full power, and let it be seen with that lion being pictured there. Lion, Leo, fire element, that confidence, that bloom, and that also that Aquarius, there's this, the sister sign to Aquarius is Leo, okay? So keep that in mind. We're seeing it connect. I don't think I need the guidebook for, you know what, I'll look up the guidebook for at least the last one, for flames. Let's just see what that one for transformation. I'm pretty sure. Wait 1 second. Oh, so really cool. If you do get this deck, this is the Witching Hour, by the way, they have examples for sacred vows that you can say to yourself, depending on what it is that you want to do. Like for serenity, expansion, alignment. There's stuff in here, so that caught my attention. But we're going to the flames. Okay. Ooh. So this flames is actually the tarot companion for the flames here is the Tower. So we have a little bit of a little hidden tower moment in your reading here. So keep that in mind. But it's dramatic changes. If you choose to stay in your current situation, know that there may be severe consequences. This card is a strong warning to avoid self-destruction and making choices you know to be harmful to yourself and others. This is your chance to walk away and to let a new you emerge. Let's see. Yeah, so it says if it's about love or relationships, which we kind of mini vibes from that one. It's just like watch your temper. How can it make things worse or better? If your question is about finances, which we have some finances that came up in this reading, it says this is a wake-up call to be more mindful of your financial situation. If it's about a career, it could mean sudden shakeups at work. So that's what it says for here. So dramatic change, which I thought that was really nice. Not super nice to see the Tower kind of sneaking in here, but you know, it is what it is. We love a Tower moment. Tower moments bring us that aha moment. It's nothing to be so scared about. We kind of see it here with a lot of the major arcanas being present anyways, that it is like an underlining moment of like, how will you react to these changes? How will you react to having to be patient? Like that's going to be a game changer for you. If you just let, you know, inner peace it, find your peace and harmony within yourself, be golden. All right, what is a message that you need to hear for this new moon in Aquarius? This really nice, sweet message. You're just cute. This cuteness. I can't tell what animal that is, but maybe it's a mythical creature. I don't know. I am a work in progress, and that is okay. It is very baby blue and baby pink, so it's kind of hard for my camera to pick it up with my lighting. It like makes it like, that's the best I can do. I am a work in progress, and that is okay. That is so cute. I don't think it's a mythical creature. That's probably... Wait, that's wings. Yeah, mythical. So we try to guess sometimes what animals are on these cards, like, you know, at least we do on Twitch. Most of the time it's doggy or kitty. So I'm a work in progress, and that is okay. So keep those words to you for this new moon in Aquarius, and thank you so much for joining in this little bit of a chaotic read for you, pile number 2. But thank you so much for being here. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you're interested in joining the Magic Circle, to secure your spot, you go to my website, which is linked below. It's on my Ko-fi right here. It's for $11.11, and you can join in for this Magic Circle where we work with the King of Swords and that new moon in Aquarius energy. Okay, thank you again for being here. If you're not there, that's absolutely fine as well. And I hope you have a wonderful new moon experience. Okay, make sure you get that sleep, especially for you, pile number 2. Make sure you have a dream journal nearby. You may be getting a lot of downloads for you. Okay, I will see you when I see you. Bye. Hello there, pile number 3, or those who picked the alien. Okay, so let me get Big Daddy over here. Yeah, so I'm using Big Daddy today. I love the chaos that this deck brings. You know, who knows? And maybe you'll get 3 towers in your reading. Maybe you'll get 3 stars in this reading. And stars are related to the Aquarius energy, so who knows? But let us call in your divine spiritual team. Let's call in your spirit to find out what it is that you need to know for this new moon in Aquarius, okay? Ooh, this deck loves to get messy. And I mean that, I mean like all over the place. It's quite hard to shuffle, but it is well worth it. As I'm doing this, the King of Swords popping in here, the king we're working with for this new moon energy. All right, so let's find out what it is that you need to know, what you need to prioritize, what you need to cultivate. Okay, okay. First up we have is the sun, and then we have the world, and then we have the high priestess. So it's interesting because we have the sun, which obviously is like connected to the sun in for astrology, the world, which is connected to Saturn, but then we have the high priestess, which is actually associated with the moon energy. So it's like the sun and moon surrounding the world. So it's like having that balance between what is seen, what is unseen, between the conscious and the unconscious. You know, why is it that you do the things that you do, and what is it that you want to accomplish in this world? So these are big questions to ask yourself. This is having that introspection, this type of silence for yourself to really ask yourself and answer these questions, and like, what is it that you've done in your past to what is it you want to accomplish in your future? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Making sure I'm getting them all in the right order. They kind of go everywhere on my desk here. So we have this. Next up is we have some Taurus energy with the Guru. This is another name for the Hierophant. They just use the Guru for this deck. So this is the Hierophant. This is passed down knowledge. This is like and like since we just had the High Priestess as an invitation, you might be doing more of like practical work though. You might have been more in the side of like wanting to learn more, wanting to find a mentor, wanting to have information passed down, but has it been working out for you? Is it going to be something that grants wishes for you? Because this is the 9 of Cups, which is like wishes coming true, but in reverse it's like it's very delayed. You've been just thinking very hard on what it is that you wish versus putting in the practical work towards it. You have, maybe it's perchance you have not been thinking of the bigger picture, or thinking big enough, dreaming big enough, because then we have the 2 of Wands in reverse. Now normally when we see the High Priestess, she's usually like has 2 columns on each side of her. Actually the same for the Guru, and there's actually 2 people underneath her too that are like looking for guidance or looking for the keys to success. Whereas the High Priestess will have the 2 columns, but her major thing is that she sits, she meditates, she learns. She has, you know, she'll read esoteric books, she'll read, you know, she'll practice her witchcraft, but she's very much there. She's very much about to like delve deeper into the veil. She wants to know more about the subconscious and such. So when we have the 2 of Wands underneath there, it's like the representation of those columns, that it feels like you maybe have to go back and like relearn something that was passed down to you, potentially with the Guru card being in there, but you haven't yet perfected. It hasn't been bringing you like a lot of joy, or what you've been wishing for hasn't been actually like bringing you happiness. It hasn't been bringing happiness to your world. And so like I said, there's repetitive cards in this deck. So you got the 9 of Wands, but upright in a present position, but in the future, and like wanting to learn something. But I think what you've been learning and what you've been doing right now hasn't been like true to your heart, hasn't been really true to your spirit. It's something that you want to change up. It has been bringing you the type of joy you thought it was going to do, and it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change the situation. Okay, so then we have the 4 of Swords coming in as a challenge, and the 3 of Swords coming into here. So let me take a quick peek before I show you the crowning card. And then we have the Knight of Wands. I'm not holding the whole deck because it's so huge, but we have the Knight of Wands. We got a little bit of Sagittarius vibes coming into here. So I'll touch base on that one in just a moment. We have no Pentacles in this reading, which can indicate can indicate needing some grounding, right? You can need some grounding, but it's not at the forefront. It's not a priority right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana. 1, 2, 2 cups, which are the same cups. 2, yeah, and 2 and 2. 2 swords, 2 wands, because the knight, with that knight energy, that knight of wands in there. Okay, so but Sagittarius is that truth. It is the truth seeker, wanting to know the truth, wanting to go on an adventure. This actually, with this world card being present, some of you may have been thinking of traveling or wanting to travel, or you're going to be getting news from something like from an international way, like news from across the sea type of vibes right there. If you know anyone, if you talk online chats, that type of stuff, like getting more information and getting to know people, that can broaden your horizons of what it means to for what your values and what it is that you should be wishing for. Because you may be, like I said, thinking and wishing on a smaller scale. We're going to think bigger, right? We're going to dream bigger. No longer are you compromising. You've learned your lessons. This is when the swords are going to be falling out. You're no longer going to compromise on what it is that you need and what you want. However, because we have that 2 and that 3 in reverse, excuse me, it could feel like taking a step back, and that's okay. We're in the beginning of the year. There's no need to rush. What you're trying to do and what you're trying to establish and what you're trying to initiate could be as far from like the new moon in Capricorn that we had to now, you know, what you've cleansed from the full moon in Leo, and like now what you want to cultivate now is something new. It's jarring, it's shaking things up. Now with that Taurus energy though, this is where we're finding that sensuality. We're talking about like having good food, very, very sensual. It is a fixed sign though. So fixed signs with Aquarius season, you know, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus, that those fixed signs right there, they could be very stubborn. They could be like, I'm set in my ways, which is good in the sense of when you don't want to be pushed around, when you want to have stability, when you want to feel like you're in control. But with these cards here, with a lot of this water in here, this water with the cups, it's like you have to go with the flow. You can't let things be so strict upon yourself. You know, when your dreams change with them, grow with them, and it's absolutely okay. This could be inspiration, this Knight of Wands, which wants to lead you into action in the right direction. It is a messenger. It is someone who wants to guide you, influence you, inspire you to travel, to see the world differently. Now we have 3 pyramids in here as well. That is your mind, body, and soul all moving together in alignment to your next phase of your life. You know, that world card, and you're like, I want this completion. I want to, like, because the world card is completion. It's moving on to the next chapter of your life. And it's like we haven't reached those dreams yet. We haven't had those wishes. You know, you're not feeling emotional satisfaction with this. It's just like a task to get done at this point. You just want it to be over. It's like, oh my God. And it's like, what do you dream about though? What do you dream about? What do you really dream about? What keeps, like, is something keep you up at night with excitement? What makes you want to get up in the morning and get your life started and like get your day started and be like, I am excited for this? Can you name 4 things, because we have a 4 right here. We can say 3 to 4 things that can get you going, that gets you excited for getting up. Now, there's nothing wrong with taking those days and wanting to, just realized lights are changing, and take those things where like you sleep in for one morning, you've been working very hard, this is your one day this week to sleep in, and it's like, cool, that's fine, as long as like you find, you know, you sleep in. Are you going to be looking forward to a nice breakfast that morning? Have you prepared for that? It's like taking care of yourself in that way. Like that Taurus energy is sensual. It's like, hey, you know what, because you went that night before, that night you're going to be taking a ritual bath, you're going to cleanse yourself, spiritually cleanse yourself, then you're going to moisturize yourself. Because some people that I talked to for the full moon in Leo put like lotions and oils and such under for that full moon, so it's like boosted by the confidence of Leo and feeling like that warmth and guidance of the Leo moon. And so they're going to be using that until, you know, whenever, but they charge in, they can use it tonight under the new moon in Aquarius. That's another thing as well. If you want to charge by any moon signs, it doesn't have to be on the new or full, you know, the moon changes. So you can get like an app and it tells you like what moon. I think right now as I'm recording this, I think the moon is in Virgo. So that'd be like, I want things to be practical, planning, organizing, making plans, you know, which for me, I really do enjoy making plans. Sometimes initiating them or acting on them is a bit harder for me, but as long as I have the plans in front of me, I feel good about it. So keeping that in mind, that's how we work with like different moon signs and whatnot. All right, let's move these cards over so you can bring out some oracle cards. And I'm pretty sure, unless you haven't seen my video or been on my Twitch or Discord, I know we're talking about having a face down camera. She's here, she's over there, she's just not working that great, and between the lighting, whatever light situation I got going on right here that I'm trying to work out, and camera stuff, we're gonna leave her alone for a little bit. You know, maybe in the next video you'll see that, but for right now she's not working like she used to, because I've used her before when I was using my other computer, but I don't know, there's something going on, so we're not forcing it. We'll get it when we get it. Okay. All right, so we're going to use a crowd favorite. We're going to use some surrender cards because we're seeing this. Also, a thing to notice, I mean, to see a 9 and a 9, but both are cups, that brings us actually hermit energy, which is actually Virgo related, but that hermit energy, so it's kind of like hidden, and so underneath there it is solitude, and it's very much so especially because like the guru, the hierophant, is on the left. It's like your energy now is I being told by society and being told by others on how and what you should do, but the hermit fights against that. The hermit's like, I'm doing things my way. You can come find me though if you want help. Like, the hermit doesn't need students and doesn't need to be told what to do. They're their own guiding light. This could be what's under the surface of your dreams and your wishes, and what it is you want to initiate under this new moon in Aquarius, this new line of thought, this new grounding energy. Dreaming bigger, seeing like, this person has the heart, the world in their hands, and they have a love for it. They have a love for travel. There is a lot of energy in here as well as influence from just something international, talking international, this like social media. It's like, like Discords, Twitch, talking with people internationally and just getting to know them. It's getting friendships, and it's like, your goals were this one, but then you're like, okay, I've expanded my mind. I want to level up. I want to do this instead, and being okay with, pushing your views or pushing your wishes. For some of you, that could even be changing like your vision board that you created for this year. You're like, I want to change it. And I highly encourage that, because you shouldn't be, I set this for 2024. This is how it's going to be. I can only stay to this. Think of it as dealing with astrology. Think of it dealing with like the new year is with Aries energy. So you're preparing for Aries, because when we go from Aquarius, we're going to go to Pisces. We're going to go to Pisces. And when we get to Pisces, it's going to be a lot of reflection, deep inner knowings, deep work, dreams and downloads in your dreams as well, messages from beyond. It's just that reflective pattern, reflecting on the whole year. Okay. There's a lot of independence in this reading as well, and like, you're no longer circulating your world around somebody else and somebody else's dreams. This is about you, not what society tells you. Okay, what should you surrender? What's the first one though? It's 2. Okay. So the first one we have is surrender to success. I know, there's the shadow. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. And that's just kind of funny to me, because I use these cards all the time. Did I remember that it actually says like leap in this one? No, I don't. Why that made me giggle is because I'm looking at the next one, which is surrender to joy, with someone literally leaping. So you can find surrenders to success through joy, being like this. A key to a positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. keep surrendering to more joy. So I think there's also an undertone in here of like toxic positivity. So just, that's not how I want to interpret this card or how I want to read it. It kind of like, the wording kind of brings that to mind though. It's like, hey, even in hard times, just smile and everything will be okay. It's like, no. I view it more as when things are getting hard, this change is hard, right? Don't force it. You have to want to do it for yourself. The only way to build this new life is to have enthusiasm, and it will be easier to let the old one, to let it go as you're building the front. This is about doing it at the same time, but when you're ready for it. No one can force you to do this change. No one can force you to let go of what you wanted to do and transform and do something that you want to do now. It has to be on your own time. No one's going to be there to baby you in this situation, okay? This is when you have been hurt so much, the compromise has been too much, that you're ready to release those swords. You don't want to do that anymore. You don't want to keep breaking promises to yourself, okay? This is about boundaries as well. That Saturn energy from the world, normally we'd also see in different illustrations, there would be like the circle around here. The world card also has all four of the fixed signs in there, so excuse me. All of the fixed signs in there for stability. And it's like having, since it's in a challenging position, it's like in the past you probably have had some challenging positions of keeping things very stable. So like you're like, this is the promise I'm keeping and nothing's gonna make me break it. And it's like, but does it make you happy though? Or did changing it work well for you? You know, because then you reach new goals. They didn't have to be, it doesn't matter if they're like goals you've had for a long time or goals that you just changed but you've reached them. You know, you've had it fit in, you know, flow into your life, okay? Which then brings us into surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude. Okay, so the first word in here is cultivate. So keep this in mind more than anything else in this reading as well, is this could be something for you to cultivate under this new moon, right? Because full moon, we release energy. The new moon, we're growing it and expanding. New beginnings, we're cultivating. So do keep that in mind. So cultivate gratitude. Be of service to others and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. That also gives me hidden vibes of the Virgo energy, because, and actually Aquarius energy, you know, is about community. It is about humanity, services for humanity. Virgo energy, people do look at Virgo as like the event planner, someone who they always like to say, like, you know, is very much like, this is the plan, we're sticking to it. But Virgo is also about service to others. Like that's the love language, is being a service to others. It's being able to be very perceptive. They're ruled by Mercury, you know, communications, and it can be very, very perceptive of things, can pick up on languages, on cues. And Virgo, being an earth sign, is very body related, can pick on body languages, you know, and is very perceptive of what other people want and need, and all they want is like kind of that love and attention right back to them, right? So this is about you being able just to do things for others without expecting anything back, you know, expecting anyone to be just as good as you are. Like, this is you just doing things out of joy, out of love, out of happiness. And then doing and turning that also around. Why don't you turn that energy to you? Turn that energy back towards you. If you took yourself out of your body, like thinking of the Two of Wands and like that High Priestess energy, is if you took yourself out of your body and you were thinking of you just as a different person, you're like, I love that person, I want to do something for them. What would that be? What would that look like? How would you serve that purpose and serve that person and be like, I want to take care of that? And then like realize, but that's, you know, that's you. What would you do for you? Okay, so keep that in mind. That was there. And then, hold on. So I've been using this one. It's been a favorite for when I stream on Twitch. It is the Rebel deck. It's a little bit of a roasting. It's just an overall sassy oracle deck that really just likes to swear. Sometimes it's just sassy. It's not really mean at all. Depends on what we get. But let's find out what you need to know from the Rebel deck. I want to do that one more time. There we go. Okay. Got 1, 2, hold on, and 3. Okay, so the first one that popped out of here is some good shit is about to happen. And it says, don't let your issues fuck it up. So it could be relating to your ego right there. Also, it's sitting right underneath that surrender to success. And then we have, you are going through some tough shit. Everyone has their turn. Welcome to yours. Gather your tired ass up and handle it, okay? So handling this stuff, this is where we're talking about, like, the 3 of Swords. Sorry, 3 of Swords. I was looking at the 2 of Wands. But the 3 of Swords, you know, going through some tough stuff. And it could be like, you know what? This is when you have, because it sits right underneath that surrender to joy card. So it's kind of like, find moments of joy even in hardship, you know, like you can't worry about things all the time. You may not find the solutions right away. Making sure you still take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your needs and all that, you know, like taking a break, like take a coffee break, take a video game break, you know, don't completely get rid of your problems, but take some time for yourself as well, okay? And then you have, you are giving too many fucks. Give 0. So give 0 fucks. It's pretty straightforward information there, and this is also pertaining more to like that energy of like conforming to society and what society wants you to do versus being weird, thinking things differently, wanting to do things differently, wanting to prioritize things differently, okay? All right, so those weren't too bad. I wouldn't say those are too bad. We're going to use the Witching Hour Oracle. I recently, like I think I just brought this up, reviewed this deck. I have a video up about reviewing this deck. I absolutely love it. I still need the guidebook, but it's been pretty easy to understand. It depends on what cards come out if I'm going to do the guidebook or not. Let's find out what we need to know from the Witching Hour Oracle. Came out right away. 2, nope, and 3. Okay, these 2 cards are really straightforward to each other. Okay, I may have to look up this one. This is enter at your own risk, and it says pause. So it shows like a creepy forest and everything. It kind of seems just pretty straightforward of like just needing to take a pause, gathering the information before you make your next move. Let me look up this one because the other 2 are pretty self-explanatory. Okay, they're not there. Ooh, this one's related to the Hanged Man for the tarot. Pause, wait for confirmation. It's okay to say no. Let's see. Just, it's a warning sign to slow down and pause and think carefully before proceeding with any plans or decisions. It's a reminder that it's okay to ask for more time before committing to a course of action, to ask more questions or to say no, or to even change your mind despite how sure you may have been. pretty spot on for the rest of the reading. This deck, I love it. Again, not sponsored, not associated, nothing. It was one of the best, I think, like last minute buys I've ever got. Like I just put it in my cart and I was like, let's try it out. Okay, so these 2 are very closely related. We've got Book of Spells, which says learn. So learning a book of spells. That also could be related to the Hierophant with the High Priestess, is learning more about the occult. Like I said, some of you, this is more spiritual, but learning about the occult. And for some of you, it is highly spiritual, especially dealing with witchcraft, is because it has this one, the spell is cast, let go. Surrendering your ego, surrendering people, surrendering people who like take you down a notch, you know, who have made you do this compromise, who, you know, they keep you up at night because they're so annoying. Like you're like, I'm cutting them out, I'm letting them go. They're not going to prevent me from being a better version of myself. So I don't think I need to look this up, because sometimes with this deck as well, it's really cool. It shows you like companion cards. So if you think like 2 cards go together, it could tell you like exactly what it means. It doesn't do it for that one. Was that 22? Let's just see. Let's see if they show them together. I think it's kind of like straightforward though. What is this? The spell is cast. Yeah, no, they're not showing it here. Oh, 8 of Pentacles for that one. Aww. Okay, so that was good to look up. So like I said, these are related to also the tarot. So I will say this, if you're watching pile number 3, chances are you probably didn't see 1 or 2. There was a star card in each of those readings. And I'm like, oh, there's no star card in here. And the star card is also in the major arcana associated with Aquarius energy. So I was like, okay, doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be in every reading. You know, it wasn't in here. Cool. Actually, the spell is cast. This card is associated with the star card in the tarot. So it's pretty cool. We have a hidden star in all of this. Okay. Alright, so let me put those to the side. Like, overall with those cards though, if you are into witchcraft, perhaps you do need to cast a spell. Something that is more practical, it's occult. It's more than just affirmations, it's more than just saying, I'm gonna do it, you know, writing it down once. You're like, no, you need a ritual. You need to find a book of spells and do a ritual for it. So keep that in mind. That could be something that's really good for you. Alright, we're going to end this reading with a therapist. This is a message you need to hear. I'm just looking over all the cards. We're going to talk about each and every one of them. You got this card. It's so cute. It goes, okay, I got to read it from here. There's no rule that says you have to have everything figured out right now. Every step forward is progress. Flippin' cute. This is so adorable. I love the colors. I love this deck so much. So there's no rule that says you have to have everything figured out right now. Every step forward is progress. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. That's why it's okay to like change your mind. You don't need to know everything to make the best decision right now, okay? You can put a pause and you don't have to make a choice, okay? At least right now in this time. Let things build up, okay? All right, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I truly do appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, interact with it. It really helps the algorithm, helps my channel and everything out. I do appreciate it. If you would like to join in or get a personal reading from me, you can find all my information in the description box and on my Ko-fi to kind of, get a personal reading with me. Or for $11.11, you can join in for the Magic Circle, where we work with the King of Swords energy for communication and authority, and words of power, and with that new moon in Aquarius energy as well. Okay, so if not, that's absolutely fine, and I hope you have a wonderful new moon experience if I don't see you then. Okay, and that's about it. That's all I got for you. Have a wonderful day, time zone, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.